If you're tired of the standard business and marketing fundamentals, frameworks, and funnels, you need a little mischief. Get ready to turn up the volume on the CEO Mischief Maker podcast, where you access conversations with seasoned business owners who have smashed through mindset barriers, innovated the standard boring business and marketing playbooks, and executed future-paced strategies with bleeding-edge tools and tactics to micro-fail their way into massive success and growth. We are Mindset Impact Strategic Catalysts helping innovative entrepreneurs focus. We are CEO Mischief Makers. Ready to make a little mischief? Hey, CEO Mischief Makers, welcome to the conversation. I just cannot wait to introduce you to this incredible person in front of me. I know I say that I have a lot of fun on a lot of conversations, and I do, but this person I've been talking to for a while on a regular basis, and I'm telling you, you're going to love this. So welcome to the conversation, Deanna Rees of Zero Work. Hey, Deanna, how you doing?
Hi, MK. I'm doing great. Thank you for inviting me to the podcast. I'm excited to be here.
I can't wait. All right. So let's start off with just introducing you to everyone. Tell everybody kind of what you do, who you are and what you do.
Of course. I'm founder and CEO of Zero Work. And what we do is that we enable creators to create automations that they can sell on the marketplace. And our marketplace is where any end user can subscribe to an automation, which we call TaskBot, that can automate their processes, usually in lead generation, outreach, and social media. So as an example, if you are, let's say, an agency and you have a process where you need to qualify leads on LinkedIn, so where you need to collect leads and then qualify them and then reach out to them, this is the kind of process that a TaskBot can automate. And so as an end user, you can go on zerowork.io, which is the marketplace where these TaskBots are offered, and then you can subscribe to it. On the other hand, if you are a creator, let's say freelancer, or a tech-savvy business that maybe creates workflow automations or chatbot automations for their clients, you can create TaskBots yourself and then sell them on this marketplace.
Yes. All right. So I know that very intimately since we've been talking for a while about this, and I just love your product. Absolutely love your product. It blew my mind. And that's only happened 3 times in the past when my mind has gotten blown by something. And your product was the third in that line. So let's start with this, because you had a different business before, and I'm sure you've done many other things before this. What mindset shifts did you have to make in order to allow you to start the business, either Zero Work or the business before that allowed you to come to this place? How did you have to shift your mindset to be where you are right now?
Yeah, that's a great question. So by the way, first of all, I also feel very honored that Zero Work is part of the 3 products that managed to blow your mind in the past. I'm excited to hear this. Well, in terms of mindset shifts, let's see. Yes, before Zero Work, I founded a different company. It was Zika Systems. We were offering a digital product for manufacturers. And when it comes to mindset shifts, I would say that there are so many. One is really drilling down the product mindset, I would say. So whereas product mindset is, I suppose, also relatively clear on the surface, what's the difference between product mindset and consulting mindset. But still, there are many nuances that I needed to really go through and to really understand. I don't even know where to start. There are many examples on that road.
Yeah. Well, if I can ask you, so when we first chatted, you were now, I believe that ZK Systems was a similar product to what Zero Work has turned out to be. Is that correct or no?
Not really, not specifically,
Okay.
right? Because it was an
Right.
automation tool, but it was for manufacturers, and it had kind of nothing to do with the automation and the target group that we are going after with Zero Work. But it had some, I guess, general, domain similarities. It was a no-code tool for process automation, and what clients used it for was, for example, to integrate a modern web app with their legacy ERP system like SAP. So in that sense, yes, it was automation, it was no code,
Yeah.
but a different product.
Yeah, exactly. So with that product, the way it was designed, I know you were looking to transition the tools that you had built in ZK Systems to another possibility. Now that takes a mindset shift. That takes an ability to see what's possible or to think about what's possible in the marketplace right now or in the current technology offering and say, I think I can maybe add something to that of value. What was that shift? What made you decide that, you know what, I think I'm going to look at another possibility or opportunity for this particular product?
Mm-hmm. Yes. So with ZK Systems, as the the primary use case was for the automation product that we built, was for manufacturers to basically connect or integrate their web app, API-based web apps with their legacy ERP systems, which had no kind of modern APIs or very complex type of APIs, which usually turned into long integration projects, which were very expensive. Now, the problem with that, however, was that ultimately, I believe ERPs in their state are not going to last for a long time. So everyone's transitioning to cloud and to modern applications with easy to use APIs. So I I had a feeling that I was in the space which is dying out for one, and for another, now think about it, the users, or let's say companies who adopt this kind of cloud applications with modern APIs are also more forward thinking and more innovative. And when you think about it, I'm talking about enterprises. Of course, freelancers and small businesses, they're all doing it. That's clear. But enterprises have a lot of legacy systems, and it's really hard to switch from them to something else. So, but the most kind of innovative ones, those who really take the pain and who value technology, they usually do that. But those who do not often, or they tend to stay longer with the legacy technology. So I realized there was a big mismatch with the technology that we are offering, which also required someone with an innovation mindset. But we were solving a problem for I guess the target group or the persona who was to a certain degree opposed to that innovation. So that was a clash. In addition to the fact that the legacy ERP systems are anyway dying out, in my opinion, at least in the run of the next 10 to 20 years. So it didn't feel to me that I can build a grown business out of it.
Yeah. And that takes, that realization could make you do several different things. It could make you say, oh, well, this is it. Might as well just ride the wave until it dies and then just go find something else, which many people do, many businesses do. Or it could say, okay, wait a minute. I've built something. I've figured out some processes. How can I adapt them to what's coming, to where the world is going? And that really does take a certain type of mindset, ability to not be so attached, right, to something else, attached to it enough that you wanted to build a business around it and grow and help certain segment of the population, but at the same time be able to release that attachment and look for something else. And that I've learned so much working with you to be able to, and this is true for just me in general, with working with Diana, everyone listening. This product mindset that she's talking about is, and we can go into more of that if we like, but it is a way of serving that has been eye-opening for me, because you really do allow yourself, as whether it's a consultant, whether it's a product builder, whether it's a creator, a chatbot builder, whatever that is, you really do allow yourself to be open to the needs of your end user, your customer, without judgment, without bias, without any kind of attachment to the outcome. And just open your mind to that and open your questions to that. And of course, there are going to be outliers, people who want something fancy and, something that you're not designed to do. And those you need to be able to recognize. But the majority of the people that you're trying to help will participate in that process with you. And that's what you had to start with, switching from ZK Systems to Zero Work. Does that make sense? Did you have to cultivate that, or did you already have that mindset?
Yes, it took, I would say, many years to cultivate that mindset. And it's definitely a different starting point when you create a product versus, service. And when you create a product, you want to work very closely with your initial users to really figure it out. And one of the biggest, or I think one of the major reasons why SaaS startups fail is that they create a product that doesn't really solve the problem, or does not solve a problem in a way that users need it. So that is, many books and many articles are written about it, but it's still hard to really put it into practice, essentially. So yes, definitely that was part of it. So in order to switch to switch to a different product, to a different target group, it needed time to first understand what the problems are, and whether I can solve them with our product. Or with the product that was about to conceptualize. So yes, that's for sure. So understanding the product, the target group's problem, and then having some initial assumption of what that is, and then iterating over it over weeks or months. Not weeks, months is a more accurate description. That's definitely part of the process, yes, and part of the product mindset.
And so everyone, if I could say, everyone listening, I know there are a lot of people who are on the current bandwagon with a lot of SaaS products that are out there that are taking a particular template or a particular product set and allowing agencies and freelancers to customize that product set to then offer it to customers. So if you're in that business, you still need to have this very similar product mindset. Even though you are an agency or a consultant, you are taking a SaaS product, especially, and I'm sure everyone can understand what I'm talking about. There are products like GHL, Go High Level, and that they're very hot on creating your own SaaS and your own kind of white label service. And if you're doing something like that, it's first off, I need to tell you, Zero Work has much more potential, but let's just go beyond that. But if you're doing that, you need to have a product mindset. You need to look at your particular product that you've created and listen to your customers in your particular niche that you're serving, and make sure that your product is meeting their needs. And if you do that, that is, I think, one thing that will allow you to stand out from anyone else in this. And I'm looking at it as kind of a mini SaaS business. There are lots of opportunities to do that right now, but in very different types of software products. And if you use this product mindset, which is difficult for a consultant or an agency to switch to, because we've been trained the opposite. But if you do this, you will have so much more success because your customers will see that you are listening to them and adapting your product to what they need. Is there anything else, any other piece of advice from that product mindset that you would give to people trying to come into this software world, which is kind of exploding around us, so that they can create success as well?
Yes. So I would say there is a differentiation between, so if someone is coming to the software world, let's put it this way, then I think there is a big differentiation between doing consulting work, such as, for example, you create, let's say, a chatbot workflow automation for your client. I think product mindset is helpful there, but it's not really necessary. Now, however, if you come to the software world and you want to create a product, then a different mindset is needed, the product mindset. And what I observe is sometimes exactly what you mentioned is that companies, let's say agencies or freelancers who are used to consulting clients or doing consulting work, and I want to say there is absolutely nothing wrong with that. It's just a different type of business and different type of work. Have sometimes difficulties switching or transitioning to product mindset once and if they decide to develop their own product. So let's give it an example. If someone is creating a taskbot on Zero Work Market, now Zero Work Marketplace is centered around the idea of SaaS. So when you publish a taskbot on the marketplace, it's not anymore a template. It's nothing that an end user just duplicates onto their account and uses, but they're actually subscribing and running your taskbot as a creator. So that requires a different mindset. So in order to really stay competitive in a way and have a lot of people who subscribe to your taskbot, you need to, as exactly as you explained, basically you need to understand what is this problem, how to solve it best. So there is one example. If you go to our marketplace, you will see there is a taskbot called LeadSpot. And that is, for example, offered by a creator who did multiple iterations with her initial users. So that's the product mindset. First, having an assumption, how to solve the problem, building it, publishing, and then realizing, and then asking specific questions and understanding how the users really need it. And after that, I believe that creator rebuilt that workflow, that taskbot multiple times in a way that it really fits the problem statement. And the key here is not about just provide an excellent service to your initial users. That's also great, and that applies for everything, consulting, product. But it's also about understanding that if your user gives some, let's say, feedback or wants to have certain features, let's say, that it applies to all the other users that you will have. That's why it's an unpaid work, but it's paid in the long term. So it's like an investment in some ways. So the work that you put into adjusting and improving and iterating and rewriting that software that you build while talking to the initial users is what makes the product attractive to thousands of future users.
Okay, hold on. If your mindset was shifted, you were inspired to innovate, and you were spurred into action, don't just move on with your day. Focus, my friend, and take a few minutes to visit CEOmischiefmaker.com to learn more about the value that was shared with you today. Please act now and create some CEO mischief of your own.